Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. It is currently everyone's favorite Monster Legends event, the race, the team race. Currently, we have the Halloween Grand Prix, and so this is everyone's chance to get Francine Frank, the newest team race monster. So let's just wait for the game to actually enter and then I can talk all about this. I'm going to be going through the best way to complete laps, how to best work with your team, some tips and tricks, some strategies that people have developed over the course of their time playing Monster Legends. So with that being said, there's also a lot going on, but we can save that for another video. Let's jump right into the Grand Prix and talk about everything that has to do with this event. So the first thing you need to understand is that there are different rewards based on how many laps you complete. At the very bottom, if you happen to complete 4 laps, you'll get 1 epic monster. If you complete 8 laps, you'll get Gregor's, which is a pretty great monster. So if you could only do 8 laps as a team, don't feel too bad. It's actually a pretty great reward. And then if you can complete at least 10 laps, you get the new team race monster. And then every subsequent reward, you just get the same team race monster but at a different rank. So if you complete 14 laps, you get her at rank 1, 18 laps, you get her at rank 2, 25 laps, which is feasible for a majority of the teams, you get her at rank 3, and if you manage to do 50 laps as a team, you'll get her at rank 4. And honestly, this event, even though it's very monotonous, very boring, and very repetitive, and I know I just repeated a bunch of synonyms, but even with all that being said, this really is one of the best events to get a good reward. Because honestly, keep in mind, when you win, when you complete 8 laps or 10 laps or 14 laps, your whole entire team gets the reward. So can you imagine, if a legendary monster normally sells for 249 gems, the fact that 30 of your players, if you have a full team of 30, is going to be getting that one legendary monster, it's very generous, especially like for the 8 and 10 laps. Most teams can do that no problem. 14 laps even, I would say, that's 2 laps a day because the race is 7 days long. Now, of course, it does require some effort on your team's part. It requires cooperation, it requires some gem spending because there are some nodes you really can't bypass unless you spend gems. But honestly, even if you had to spend like 200 gems for every single lap, let's just suppose that was the case. If 14 of your players spend 200 gems and everyone walks away with a rank 1 monster, that is a really great reward because normally one individual player would have to spend, well, first of all, they'd have to get like 3 or 4 copies of a monster to be able to extract them and get enough cells to get a rank 1 monster. So yeah, I think it's 3 copies, right? So as you can see, it's a really great reward for the cost. So I think first we have to admit that, but again, it is very boring and monotonous and you do have to spend gems. But if you can cooperate with your team and figure out a way to spend, for example, in my team, we have a rule where every single player needs to bypass 1 node. And my team usually ends up doing 25 laps, so considering that everyone needs to fork over like 200 gems, but everyone walks away with a rank 3 monster, it's not that bad of a deal. And so at the end of the day, you really need active players and you need players that are willing to participate and fork over some gems for this event. Let's move on to the position rewards. The position rewards don't really matter too much in my opinion. You're going to be paired up with some really tough teams that are just going to obliterate you. They're going to reach the 50 laps. The position rewards aren't even that amazing. If you're first place, yeah, you get 80 Elementium, 150, but again, that's probably going to be really hard. So for example, my team right now is between 11th and 15th. We're going to walk away with 7 Elementium and 15 Thunder Elemental cells. Again, it's not that great. And actually, let me show you my baby count. On my baby count, it's not that different. Well, it's a little different. The first place reward on my baby count is 50 Elementium and 40 Elemental cells. So position rewards are dependent on what team you're going up against. So there's different tiers, similar like Team Battlegrounds. So if we were to look through all of the teams here, I would say that no team in here is like a top 100 team, which is why we're like, I believe we're in a tier 2 kind of bracket. They're 160. Yeah, if we were to look through all the teams, I don't think anyone's in the top 100. On the other hand, if we look at my main account that has a higher first place reward, if we look through the teams, oh look, there's Left Hand of God. They're what, rank 2, rank 5. So that's why we have a higher reward bracket in terms of the first place reward. Well, 1st through 20th. But again, it doesn't really matter too much because we're in 11th place. All that really matters is doing the lap rewards, completing X amount of laps, and getting the reward for your whole entire team. And then the individual rewards, those are also dependent on whatever the highest placed team in your bracket is. Again, top 100, top 5,000, and I think everyone else. Here's my baby account. The first place can get 3 silver. In this bracket on my main account, the top place can get 1 gold and 40 cells as opposed to 25. Anyhow, with that being said, you can also get food depending on how many points you get. So the key is to get 10,000 points. If you can get 10,000 points, you will get 5 million food, which then you can use to level up your new team race monster. So you want to get 10,000 food. And now let's talk about how exactly you get points and what is the best strategy to accumulate points. The number one thing you want to do is to communicate, use the team chat, call out something when you're going to do it, especially for those one for all quests. First member to feed monsters with 920k food completes the quest. Imagine if 10 players are on the game and that quest pops up and everyone starts feeding their monsters. Everyone's going to be wasting food. So you want to go on the chat and you want to call it out and say, I'm doing the one for all quest, I'll feed my monsters. You want to call that out. Do your part. That one you just have to do your part. You have to log into the game, check it constantly, see if there's some kind of task that you can participate in. For example, right now on my main account, the one for all and the joint effort is done. We're just waiting for 2 more players to do the do your part quest. So you want to make sure to be constantly checking, and it helps to have like a Discord page, a Facebook page, some sort of chat system where you can tell all your members, hey, there's a new node, log in, complete the node. The joint effort quest is a lot of time more of a free-for-all. Anyone can really tackle it at any point. I still think it's a good idea to call it out just in case, like that joint effort for example. All members contribute as much as they can to collect 23.2 million. I think some of those could be helpful to call out. But anyways, besides that, there are some quests that call for breeding uncommons or breeding common. What I always recommend for everyone is to have your ultra breeding tree and your breeding mountain right next to your hatchery, and you should also have those right next to your monster lab, because there's also some that involve extracting monsters, well not extracting, but ranking up commons, ranking up rares, ranking up uncommons. And if you have all of this together, it is so easy. Also nature habitat, so see, I can easily hatch, I can easily rank up. This little area right here is amazing. And also I recommend that you keep a bunch of cells for the things you're going to be needing, which are common monsters. See, I have 700, uncommon I have 3000, rare, where's my pandakin, I have 1000. So always have a bunch of cells ready to extract. And when you extract, you want to extract level 1 monsters, not leveled up monsters, because if they're leveled up, it takes a long time. If they're level 1, look at that, it only takes 6 seconds, you get a lot of cells back, and then you can rank up. That also only takes like 6 seconds. So be sure to do that. Let me collect this real quick. I got 110 cells back. And again, everything is simply right here. I can easily place. I'm not all the way there. I should be, oh, that's full. So yeah, I'll place it right here for now. Let me go back up. I can easily click repeat, 30 seconds each. Sometimes it's useful to activate your breeding tree. That's not my breeding tree. Your breeding tree, Camella. But only do that if you need to. Let's see what else is going on. Is there a new node? There is still not a new node. We're waiting on 1 more teammate. And so anyhow, that's how you take care of the breeding a common, uncommon, a rare. That's how you take care of the ranking up a common, uncommon, or a rare. And then there's also a quest that involves runes. I always like to have a level 3 rune ready to collect. Typically it'll be a joint effort quest that involves collecting a rune, and it's usually level 3 or level 4. Sometimes it is a little higher, but for the most part I found it useful to have a level 3 ready. Actually, if we look at my baby account real quick, as you can see, there's one of the first members to rank up 4 rare monsters complete the quest. So with my system on my main account, very easy. 15 members must collect 30k food. I'll show you how I do that. And all members must contribute as much as they can to craft 10 level 4 runes. See, that's why it's always useful to have a 3 or level 4 rune ready, because this kind of quest pops up a lot. Anyhow, let's talk about the collecting food. What I personally like to do is I like to plant the black lotus roots. I like to do 5 of them or 6 of them. How many do I do? Let's see. I do 5. I think I do actually all of these. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Okay, I have 7 right now. And then normally this will be a black lotus root, but I also like to plant everything else winged angel beans, because these are 20k. Because there's a do your part that says you must collect 30k food. So that's super easy for me to do. And then there's a one for all quest that says you must be the first player to collect 590k food by yourself, which is easy because I can simply collect like 6 of these. And I do a little extra just in case it requires more, or in case there's a joint effort that requires collecting food. So that's what I like to do, the black lotus roots and the winged angel beans for anything collecting food, and don't collect unless a specific quest requires it. And as for collecting gold, well, simply don't collect any of your gold, let everything to accumulate, and again, call it out, that way you don't collect everything, and that way you can easily complete a quest whenever it pops up. I also recommend that one teammate has probably a legendary monster ranked up and ready to go, because there is a quest in the future that involves a player to rank up a monster. There might even be like a player has to craft a legendary monster or craft an epic monster, rank up an epic monster, so you can designate certain teammates to have that ready for whenever the quest pops up. There's quite a bit of nodes that involve epic monsters, and when it comes to like breeding an epic monster, Honestly, the best thing you can do is to pay gems. That's when you want to spend your gems. That is the only quest you want to spend gems on, really. Especially if it's a one for all, one player must breed 9 epic monsters, skip it automatically with gems. If it's a do your part, 5 players must breed an epic monster. That one's honestly better if you can try to breed an epic monster. I have personally had a lot of good luck. Let me see if I can show it on my baby account. I have had a lot of good luck breeding my magic and earth monsters. Magic and earth. So there's 2 of them. You can do Duchess. Actually, there's 3 of them. You can do Duchess and Terra Crank or Tartarus. And I always get epic monsters. Let's see if I do right here. Yeah, that's an epic monster, see? So if it's that kind of quest that involves breeding an epic monster or do your part, I would just go for the epic monster. And then I would activate your Guardian if you haven't done so already. And I would just speed it up. I think that would be a lot cheaper overall than just skipping the do your part one. If it's a joint effort, and honestly, that one you could probably just pay to skip. Here I'll show some recorded footage of me skipping it for my team. Or again, you can get as many of your teammates to try to beat an epic monster to lower the cost, but eventually you are going to want to skip it. So definitely skip the one for all and the joint effort. And yes, it's going to involve gems, but this is when you coordinate. Like I said, my team has a requirement that everyone bypasses an epic node because that's the only way we know we're going to reach 25 laps. Otherwise, it's not going to be possible. And hopefully everyone can recognize that a rank 3 monster is worth spending 200 gems. Because what else are you going to do with 200 gems? You can buy one legendary monster maybe? Or you can get a rank 3 monster for the whole entire team. So it is really to the team's benefit. And then with the one for all quest, there's also a quest that involves one single player doing player versus player battles. 9 of them or 8 of them. You never ever want to skip those with gems. Instead, it is so much easier to just do the player versus player battles. And I'll have a background video playing of me doing that. You never want to skip it because it costs so many gems, like upwards of 180 or 150, some crazy amount, when instead you can just exhaust your PvP battles, 3 of them. And actually, let me just stop right there because we just had our nodes changed, and let me just demonstrate exactly what my team does. So we have new nodes. The one for all is first member to rank up 4 rare monsters completes the quest. So I commented in the chat, can I rank up? eSonic said sure, yes said sure, go for it. So I'm gonna start ranking, and then you guys can see my little system and how it works. So let me really quickly sell this monster because I don't need him. Sell him. Let me plant that Pandakin so I have more rare monsters to work with. Let me click repeat here, and then there's another Pandakin right there. So ranking up, I gotta rank up 4 rare monsters. This is gonna be easy. This is gonna be a piece of cake. There's one Pandakin right there. And in the meantime, I can extract my other Pandakin that's already ranked up to get some points back, in case you didn't have cells. But again, I have so many cells. And then let me sell these because I don't really need them right now. And ideally, if you have more space, you'd want to probably fill your vault with Pandakins and Greenosaurs and common monsters. But right now, I'm kind of low on space. Anyhow, let me sell this. Let's hatch that Pandakin. So now I have 2. So I know I need 1 more to rank. Or I can just rank the one I have right now. So let me actually do that. So I'll go to rank. I'll collect. Alright, that's 1. I'll rank another one. This is going to be 2. And then I'll collect these cells. And honestly, even though one of them is rank 1, I can rank it up and it's not that costly. It's only 150 cells. So I can do that. Or again, I can keep my little system here. But unfortunately, I'm only getting Greenosaurs, which is fine because in the future there will be some node that involves ranking up uncommon monsters. So that's awesome. It's really helpful to just accumulate a bunch of different monsters. The low ones, the rares, the uncommons, the common, the Greenosaur, the Treezard, and the Pandakin. So let me just sell and see if I can get another Pandakin. And look, there's a Pandakin right there. Let's go back to my lab. Let's rank up. This is why I said it's useful to have everything right next to each other. So that's 2, that's 3 that I've ranked up. After I rank this one up, that'll be 4 of them. And now I can extract my rank 2 one, get some cells back if I need them. I get 185 back. Go back to rank up. In 5 seconds, it'll be ready. And let's check this. See, no one else has completed it because I called it. And why am I going to spend 50 gems when I can quickly just, in less than a minute, less than 2 minutes, bam, I completed the one for all quest. It's that easy. And then there's a do your part of doing PvP. So just tell your team doing 1 PvP, that way they know. Alright, I'm going to do a PvP battle. And there's a strategy to doing player versus player. You want to drop your trophies as much as possible. If you look at my defense, well, I switched now because the league's about to end. But if you look at my defense log, I had common monsters. See, I had level 4, level 35 common monsters. I was purposely losing all my battles. That way I can get easy revenge battles. And that way I'm just in an overall easier league where it's super easy to win. So look how fast I win. I activate Bloodthirsty. It's kind of lagging. I'll do Bestial Charge. It missed. I will do Pure Rage. I will do this skill right here. Possessing eggs. That's not good. And Etna. And there we go. Oh, I was confused. Protecting lights. Torment eggs. Recharge. Etna. There we go. Fast, super fast PvP win. If I didn't miss it, would have been a lot faster. But that's what you want to do. You want to trophy drop as much as possible. So let me spin this. I get my gold. Exit out. And we should hopefully be on to the next node. And yeah, see, on to the next node. All members contribute as much as they can to feed. Easy enough. First member to rank. Again, I could do that if I want to. 4 members must breed 1 epic monster. Again, going back to my baby account, that combination of Duchess, Terra Crank, and Tartarus, that one works so well for me. But there's other combinations you can utilize. Let me see if someone's ranking. I'll feed, so eSonic fed, and then I'll ask if anyone ranking, because if not, I can do it again because my little system works. I can really quickly pop up common monsters if I don't have any. Watch. All it requires is for me to breed, go to nature, find my nature monster, partner him up with any nature legendary, and there we go. 15 seconds, I'll have a Treezard. So even that is really, really fast. I guess I will, otherwise if you want it, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. And see, it's like that easy. You just need to communicate with your team so everyone knows what they're doing, so no one wastes unnecessary time. So honestly, that's probably the best advice. You need to communicate with your team. And going back to player versus player, you want to take advantage of your daily missions, the free PvP battles you get, and you want to pay the 5 gems to get more attacks. You don't want to skip the PvP, and I'll have video playing in the background. But that's pretty much it as far as team races, how to best complete labs, how to work with your team. It's all about communication. It's all about calling out nodes. It's all about working together. It's all about being smart. So get out there, go complete a bunch of laps, and good luck on the Halloween Grand Prix. May all of you get Francine Frank.